Hello, Mary. How are you? Ugh, I'm always crooked. See how long the delay is here. How's it going? Hello, Robin. Why isn't that straightening out? Let's see. Boop. Hello, Lynn. Better turn off the sound on my computer. Janice, hello. All right, as you're popping on, say hello so that we know who's with us. I'm gonna just still try to get this, straight because I hate it crooked. Hey, Gabrielle, how are you? Let's see. Sorry for moving the camera, but I just can't take it. Hey, Marilyn. All right, we're gonna get started in a minute. I popped on a little late, so we'll give people a chance to get on, but we are going to talk about grit paste. Grit paste. So there's 3 different versions. There's translucent, there's opaque, and then the holiday version is called Snowfall, and I'm going to show you 2 ways to use it to create snow and the difference between the 3 different ones, the 3 different grit pastes. Grit paste is fun to use because it gives you some really great texture. So you can use it in a stencil or you can use it on its own. I have been using it in some Christmas ornaments I'm making. Let me grab one, I'll show you. This is grit paste down here on the bottom to create the snow. That's the snowfall, but we'll talk more about that. But I just want to show you there's so many different ways that you can use it. And it does make great snow. So why don't we get started. Whoops, bumping into things. Hey, Laura. Oh, yeah, grit with a G, G-R-I-T, grit paste. And I'll show you the bottle right now. Okay, so there are 3 different ones. This is the grit paste. This is Snowfall. It's the first one that I grabbed. Hey, Marianne. And I've been using this one a lot. So this one, you can see here, one of the techniques is I used it on this Michigan shape at the top to look like it was kind of snowy icicles on top. So that is the Snowfall. And I don't know how it'll show on the camera, but it has a little bit of clear sparkle in it. So it's got some clear glitter, so like the clear rock candy. So that is what that one looks like on just smeared on, I guess. This is the Snowfall through a stencil. So I used the Detroit Sky, I had it all straight and then I bumped it. The Detroit Skyline stencil with Distress ink. That is the Uncharted Mariner and a little bit of pumice stone there to create the background. So this is the stencil and mask. All right. And it's the Mini Slim. And then I used the Lawn Fawn stencil, and I think it's called Snowfall. I don't know. It's the one that that creates snow falling on this one. And you can see when it catches the light, you do get a little bit of sparkle. All right. So that is the Snowfall. Let's see, put that there so you can see. The other one there is the translucent. So this is grit paste in translucent. And what translucent means, obviously, is that you can see through it. So it doesn't dry totally clear, but it does allow you to, I don't have the sticker on top, it does allow you to still see through it. So, and I did these earlier so that they would dry and you could see. So you can see, this looks like it's got some ice buildup on the top of the Michigan. This is a chipboard piece. And it's got the grit paste at the top, so it looks like it's got some ice on there. So that is the translucent. And then on this one, this just gives a little two-tone effect with the translucent grit paste through the stencil, which is still a nice effect too if you don't want it to show up too much. Ooh, it's pixelizing, isn't it? Let's see if I can get it to show. So I think you can see as I'm moving it around. I don't know why it's pixelizing like that. Anyway, so that's the translucent. And then there is the opaque. So this is the grit paste opaque, and it's a matte opaque paste. All right, so it's gonna dry white. And here it is to create a snow-capped Michigan. Gabriella, you can color the paste with, Gabrielle's asking if you can color the paste. I think that you could use a re-inker or spray stain, or you could use paint. I don't know about watercolor. I'm not sure how that would work. Could certainly try it, but I can't guarantee that one. So this is the opaque on the top of the Michigan. So we're snow-capped. And this really creates a snowing look on your card. So this is the opaque through the stencil on the background. Hey Renee, is that you? Hello. All right, so those are the three, okay? And these are the two ways that you can use these pastes to create a snow effect. And now I am going to show you those ways really quickly. So let's do the opaque through the stencil because that one's the easiest to see. I've got my little thing all set up. I really prepped today, didn't I, ladies? You're kind of surprised, aren't you? I'm getting serious around here. Okay, so I like to use the Make Art Station, the Wendy Becky. This is the small one. I have the large one too, but the small one's good for well, A2 size or mini slims. I think the regular slim line gets to be a bit too big. So I have a piece of repositionable yellow tape underneath my card that we're going to stencil on, and then I just magnetize the stencil over the top, and I've kind of positioned it. You can kind of see through where the stencil is, and I'd want it to be lightly snowing on the buildings and the snow a little bit heavier at the top. So that's kind of how I positioned it. I use a palette knife, and you can see the grit paste is like it's like frosting. I kind of want to eat it, but I don't think it would taste good. All right, so we just take a little bit of the grit paste and smear it on. This grit paste is really quite easy to apply in a stencil. Just because of the thickness makes it really easy. You don't need a lot. And what I do is apply it and then I scrape it. So we'll apply it and make sure that we have all of the holes filled in. And then what I do is kind of scrape across, and I take all of this and I put it back in my jar. Save it for another day. All right, now I know you ladies know that I'm not really a huge fan of cleaning up, but when I'm using paste like this, I do, because when it dries, becomes a permanent part of your stencil, and it can plug up the holes, so then your stencil really can't be used. But there you can see what it looks like while I clean this up really quick. I just give it a wipe with a wipe. But you could certainly have a tray or a bucket of water around and just toss it in there and give it a rinse when you're done and dry it with a paper towel. I just wipe it with my wipe and then use my pants to dry it off. You wonder why I always have stuff all over me, don't you? All right, so this is what the opaque grit paste looks like right when you apply it. So it really kind of dries. This is the one we just did, and then this is the one I did already. It really kind of dries the same, you know, the same color. So it doesn't change too much. So this one's already dry. All right, so that is snow with the opaque grit paste, which if you want white snow, that's your best choice. All right, and then using it to just create some snow. Now, if you saw the Stockings Were Hung palette project that I showed during the live last week, this is exactly how I did the snow on the large Michigan that has the snowflakes hanging on it. So this is the snowfall. It's the same consistency. It's a little less white, but I just take a little bit here on my palette knife. And here, this is just another piece of chipboard. And and you can arrange it however you want to make it look like a snowdrift or a snow cap, or you could cover the whole thing if you wanted to. This one you would see the blue through. So if you did end up covering the whole thing, you would still see that blue through. So this one, this is the wet snowfall that I just applied, and that is the dry snowfall that I applied earlier today. So you can kind of see the difference. Mary is asking how long until it's dry. It really depends on how much you apply. These ones that are thick like this take a little while, maybe an hour or two, but when you're applying it through a stencil, it dries fairly quickly. Could you use a heat tool? Yes, but you have to be very careful, because if you get too close or apply too much heat, this will bubble. Just like gesso will bubble or any other paste will bubble. You just have to be careful. All right, so this is the dry one, and this is the wet. All right, so you can see those two. All right, any other questions I can answer? I think we've got all of these pastes available in the store right now. So if you're working on some holiday decor projects, you can certainly grab some of this paste at Scrappy Chic. All right. Let's see, let me just go back up and make sure. Laura says she needs that stencil. It's a really fun stencil, Laura. We've got the mini slim Detroit Skyline, and we've got the regular size slim Skyline, and they're really great stencils because you get the mask with it and you can use it together or separate or each or. I think you will enjoy it, Marilyn, on some decor projects or even backgrounds on cards. All right. Anything else? Any other questions I can answer? We certainly appreciate you guys joining us. I will just remind everyone, if you're not already signed up, we have our last minute Christmas card making event on Saturday. It's an all-day affair, so the store opens at 10. Your kit that you get will include instructions for 8 cards. Happen to have the cards here. If anybody wants to see them, just let me know. But you get a mega pad from Cartabella. It's called Letters to Santa. You get a package of enamel dots. You get this bundle of chipboard. So it's 19 pieces of chipboard. So this is the bundle of chipboard that you get. You also get, I happen to have all the things right here because I'm working on the kits. This is the sentiment sheet. You get a half a sheet filled with all these sentiments that are laser printed that can be foiled, and we will be foiling. Lynn is asking how much the Detroit mini stencil is, and if Renee is still on, she might remember. I don't know off the top of my head what the price is on that. I'm thinking. Anyway, if you would like to see the 8 cards that you're going to get instructions for, I'm happy to whiz through them really quick. But there are still seats available. That is the 3rd. And we are going to have mulled apple juice and some other special holiday treats. Do we have, Barb, do we have what in stock? The stencil? Yes. The mini slimline stencil and the regular slimline stencil is in stock. I do know that. Okay. So anyway, the event is on Saturday and it's going to be super fun. Thanks, Marilyn. Marilyn says the mini Detroit stencil is $4.99. There you go. I know Marilyn owns that, so. We also have a pine tree skyline in the same size stencil too. That's really fun. So take a peek at that while you're in the store. I think that's everything. We will also be live Saturday morning with Scrappy Chat really quick before the event starts. So join us at 9:30 on Saturday. I was just working on the Michigan Inspiration Project. I will tell you, loyal fans, that we are finally going to be able to introduce some new product that we've been working on for a while. So make sure you join us. And if you can't join us at 9:30, make sure you catch the live so you can see some brand new custom product that we're going to be having in the store. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. We appreciate you as always. And you can always comment on our Facebook page if you have any other questions. Renee and I will be happy to get back to you. And I think that is it. All right, ladies, back to work for me. We'll talk to you soon.